About 5,000 miles ago, I started getting a clunk or a thunk in the rear suspension of the Santa Cruz. When you first hear suspension noise, my first thought is it's gotta be sway bar end links. I feel like that's the most common item to fail and make that noise. But there's actually a TSB, a technical service bulletin, for the rear shocks for Santa Cruz's between the years 2022 and 2024, stating that there is a factory defect and that it can be replaced under warranty. I believe that warranty is up to 60,000 miles and my truck is at 88,000 miles, so I've clearly gone over that. Being it as the truck has over 80,000 miles, I think it's also time to do some service on the rear diff. That is going to be the focus of today's video. We're going to swap out the sway bar end links, we're going to change out the rear shocks, and replace the gear oil in the rear differential. So let's see what we got going on here. It's our right sway bar end link. And yeah, she's pretty rusty and crusty. Fastener looks pretty good though. Bottom of the rear shock's also rusty and crusty. This is a 2003 Midwest winter Iowa salt in the rust belt. Passenger side sway bar link looking pretty much the same. Shock doesn't look too bad for its age. Honestly, it's not too bad. Still pretty good for a brand new car. So it looks like with those rear shocks, you don't even need to take the tire off. I lied. You gotta take that tire off. Oh my God, it's heavy. Here is one 2023 Hyundai Santa Cruz shock already removed. You'll notice on your original shock that you have this dust boot and your actual rubber mount up top. This is like, this is aluminum, and up top is your rubber cap, which can just pop up with a screwdriver. Take that out and you can see the nut on the bottom. These are $200 for just the shocks. So I happened to go on eBay and found some, oh my God, 2025 Santa Cruz shocks. So according to the TSB, your technical service bulletin, 2025 and 2026 shocks no longer have the thunk that people are hearing, your clunking noise. So by going with these 2025 used shocks, I'm gonna alleviate the problem. And the best thing is, the seller I bought these from claimed that these shocks, there's the sticker even, 2025 Santa Cruz XRT Turbo with only 746 miles. So I imagine that poor XRT had an unfaithful end, but then gifted me these low mileage, 700 miles on these shocks, and my originals have 88,000 miles. So not only do I not have to take this apart, I can just bolt these in. But what kind of YouTuber would I be if I just slap these in without showing you guys what you would have to do? Now, you do have an Allen, but as I found out with my lift kit, it's impossible to get the proper wrench and Allen to undo that. So if you cannot rip that out with an impact, you're gonna have to buy the special tool. Hyundai makes a special tool for removing that lock nut specifically. I'll link the tool and the lock nut and the shock. OEM part numbers will be in the description if you guys are interested. But it just kind of sucks that you'd have to go out and buy a special tool to install that. Now, even if you do remove it with an impact, you're still going to fight trying to get that tight the right way. I think with my front shocks, I ended up just impacting it on anyways, and then trying to hold that center bolt to get it to torque spec. Once I had the suspension all assembled, it put enough pressure on it to the point where I could torque it to spec without that Allen wrench. You're not gonna have that luxury on the rear shocks. I mean, at that point, you're gonna have wear and tear on your mount, so you might as well replace the mount, and you gotta replace the lock nut anyways, so you'd have to buy the special tool. At that point, I don't know if it's worth your time or not, but I'm gonna zip that thing off, or at least try to, and see what it looks like underneath. So here's our lock nut that Hyundai says needs to be replaced. One massive shock absorber. I swear I've never seen them this big. Wow, there's your bump stop. That is gross. 80,000 miles. I imagine all these things get pretty nasty. And then your dust boot. I guess it's just attached to the mount. Huh. Looks like it has some decent rubber on the inside. But you can kind of see, I had a little bit of movement from side to side. I guess that could be normal, but why bother? Basically, what you guys would do is just buy your ginormous shock for $200. There you go. Reassemble it. Your new lock nut. And if you're a backyard mechanic, impact it down. Or if you're legit, buy the special Hyundai tool designed for putting these on. Best I can. Gotta make sure the dowels, these dowels underneath here, setting them out properly. They're supposed to be torqued to 85 foot-pounds. Okay, so here we got the passenger side already removed, and that's just not normal dirt and grime. That's oil. So you can see that this shock, maybe not the driver's side, but the passenger side for sure, was actually leaking. So, 88,000 miles, yeah, it's time to replace them. 80,000 is not your scheduled service marker. It just means that, for me, it's time to replace. I've seen some shocks need replaced at 100,000 miles. Our Honda Civics needs replaced at 140,000 miles. So it was just time for this vehicle and the overlanding off-road that we do. It'll probably be linked in the description as well, but if I did forget, there it is. These are OEM, of course. The crazy part is, I got these each for $97. Stupid expensive when I think sway bar links should be cheap, 35 bucks, but these are OEM quality. I'm learning to stay away from aftermarket parts after all my time of messing with aftermarket parts. So high quality pieces are extremely desired. These also might have something to do with the load leveling system. It might be a little special. Or not, I'm not gonna fact check it, I'm just gonna go with it. So let's get them installed. 17 millimeter on the sway bar end links. Let's see if we get lucky. Woo-hoo. Wait, I have to reuse you. Come back. Huh. No fight, no mess at all. Check it out. Quick shot of the old versus the new. I cannot believe how fast this guy rusted out. Compared to the rest of the car, which has literally no rust on it. This is pretty dang crazy. And, oh, that's still pretty stiff. Oh. That one could seem a little bit more worn out. Even the dust boot is starting to rip on this bad boy. The bottom definitely has a lot more play than the top does. But overall, I don't think they're bad. They just look like garbage. And you know what's better than 80,000 miles? 0,000 miles. Oh, come here, creeper, creep, creep, creep. Squeak, squeak, squawk. The bottom one has to be at an angle too. Genius! There. 2 angles make a full. Top one is an Allen and the bottom one is an inverted Allen. Ready to get your proper torque specs. Or just do this. I believe the torque spec, your end lengths, is 65 foot-pounds. Which I clearly went over with my impact. Let's see how long those last. Okay, so right there is our rear diff. This guy right here is your 24 millimeter. And off to the front, right next to the axle, this guy right here is also 24 millimeter. This guy's your fill plug. That guy is your drain plug. With older cars, you know you have to crack that loose before your drain plug just because, one, they were usually inverted squares and they could strip easily. These are actually bolts, so I don't think you're ever going to strip one of these unless you suck. But for peace of mind, crack that one open first, and then open that one and drain your gear oil. Okay. Ah! I didn't know there was a crush washer on there. That sucks, I don't have one. So that was all on the magnet. Not too bad. I've seen worse. So yeah, just a little bit on there. Appears there was a red Loctite on the drain bowl. That's why it was such a pain to get out. But I'll see if I can find you guys the crush washer. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and install mine as is and keep an eye on it and hope for the best. So your Santa Cruz is going to call for 7585 or 7590 API GL5. So this is what I had laying around and this is what I'm going to use. It does contain a limited slip additive. It's not going to hurt your open diff that is in, the open rear diff that is in your Santa Cruz. It's not going to do anything. If anything, this probably costs a little bit more. But like I said, I had a couple of these laying around, so this is what I'm going to put in. Not a lot of room to work in here, but I am trying my best. There we go. See, you can see it coming out the side, so we know she's full. I believe torque spec is 55 to 78 if you want to torque it down. All right, here's some extra credit for you guys, just for fun. Oh my god, my creeper is ridiculous. Okay, right there is your front differential drain bolt, and up there is the fill. Fun fact, that is also a 24, but the top one, a size 10 Allen to be exact. So I'm gonna break those loose and fill those anyways, just because I haven't done those yet. That actually doesn't look too bad. I know I've never changed that. I had the transmission fluid changed, but I never did the gear oil. But it looks really good. There's the magnet. Not a whole lot of sludge on there. I think it has more than the rear diff plug had, but this is primarily front wheel drive, so you know that makes sense. The front diff takes the exact same as the rear diff. So still going with the 75-90. It is going to be more of a bugger to get up in there to the fill spot. These flexible bags are pretty great, but having some sort of pump or syringe would definitely help out, especially with the front diff. It sucks, but this is what I got, so it's what I'm going to use. Yeah, in case you're wondering, that cover has to come off. But check it out. There we go. Dripping out the bottom. All full. Ah, Fritz. Alrighty guys, I believe that I have taken care of all my current problems. Shouldn't have any other future problems coming up, but who knows what will happen. Anyways, that is going to be a wrap on this video. I'm going to put some other stuff around here, some other videos for you guys to check out. Otherwise, that's it. This is Jake, and I'll catch you guys later.